about ready to begin our program. It's a beautiful day, and we're going to have a wonderful time this afternoon.
Just the experience of going inside the walls for the first time leaves a lasting impression.
There's no guarantee you're going home every day when you come into this place. There's no guarantee.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
SCAPE,
an inmate at Florida Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. You may start the conversation now.
Something is wrong in the land.
Cultural.
Soundscape.
Listen to this.
That's a good step.
Trying to build a prison. Trying to build a prison.
Prison sounds like it can rumble, like all of the music swirled together. Gangster rap, death metal, and the nostalgic love songs that remind you who isn't here.
If hell had a description or a definition, it would be solitary confinement.
Prison. 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 Prison.
This call will be recorded and monitored. I have a collect call from
Caswell Sr.,
an inmate at County Detention Facility.
Hello? 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 Have you ever thought of suicide? On a jail call while your mother cried. She ain't understand you had to ride. It was him or you, it was do or die.
But try to imagine being confined to a room the size of your bathroom for 22 hours a day. That's solitary confinement.
The cell was like an elevator that you're stuck in for 24 hours. I wanted to kill myself. I swallowed pills. I cut my arms.
A guard sees that Solon has hanged himself.
I got a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning saying that he was dead.
So, more than 60,000 inmates remain in solitary today. alone with their minds.
Hours locked alone in a windowless cell.
Solitary is still widely used, sometimes even for children.
You know, I've seen guys lose their minds back here. I've seen guys that hear things that ain't there. I get angry at a drop of a hat for no reason at all. And I was never like that until after 5-6 years back here. It would be nice to look out a window.
When was the last time you saw the moon?
The moon? I don't even know.
Stars?
Stars, I haven't seen stars since I came to prison.
Only when he gets excited does he show his...
Inside prisons, you've created a group of monsters. You've actually constructed a monster factory. Now these monsters are coming home to you, and now everybody's trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
There's nobody here right now, but if you'd like to leave your time-space coordinates, we'll get back to you.
The U.S. has the most incarcerated people of any nation on Earth. And a total of over 10 million in the prison system. It's higher than countries the U.S. considers more authoritarian, like Russia, China. The U.S. represents 4% of the total world population, but 22% of the world's prison population. One common thread that ties together all of the worst tendencies of the American empire: profit. Companies have always been eager to work with the prison industrial complex to increase their profits. Incarcerated people are required to do the work that is demanded of them. This is slavery.
But the 13th Amendment was about making slavery only the punishment for a crime. The United States responded to that in an interesting way. We just created a bunch of nonsense crimes that were specifically used to incarcerate black people. Were then rented out to the same plantations that had previously owned some of these individuals as slaves. And the harsh reality is that there are many people in prison that should not be. People who have non-violent drug offenses, people who have pled guilty to crimes that they did not commit. And the reason for this is very simple. Slave labor is still a central player in the United States economy. The United States has not abolished slavery. The United States just hid it from the public. And then we created bureaucratic institutions to create justification for an individual's enslavement.
Inmates have been put to work manufacturing hand sanitizer and PPE, washing hospital laundry, and digging mass graves for COVID victims. They provide forced labor for thousands of U.S. corporations, including big names like McDonald's, Wendy's, Tyson, Verizon, Sprint, Fidelity, Walmart, JCPenney, and IBM. America finds new ways to extract profits from human life. As the war on drugs ramped up in the 1980s, federal prisons began to become overcrowded. The solution? Turn to the private sector to build new prisons for all this excess human inventory. The government contracts a private company to build the prisons, that company locks up the overflow prisoners, and they are paid for each person they imprison.
Enslaved workers in American prisons play a critical role in the economy, serving in positions that they are not allowed to fill even after they've finished their prison sentence.
Private companies are given multi-$100 million contracts. Then their executives turn around and donate huge sums of that same money to politicians who will support private prisons. In the United States, we focus more on punishment than rehabilitation. We've effectively criminalized poverty. Can't pay a parking ticket? Jail. No one will hire you when you get out? Serves you right for being a criminal. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle.
It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle.
Slavery, slavery. That is not our culture. Slavery, slavery. Erase what they taught ya. Never can your history begin when they telling you Jamestown, Virginia, this is what they telling you. 16, 19 white people are selling you. The only thing you did was increase their revenues. These are all lies. You gotta remember you. Get yourself a pen and pad. Write down what I'm telling you. First, you're not a sinner. Really, you're a winner. But a racist only sees you serving them dinner. So they try to make your huge history thinner. Starting your history in Jamestown, Virginia.
Prisoners receive between 15 and 52 cents per hour on average for non-industry jobs. Some prisoners in Arizona make 10 cents per hour. Often up to 80% of this is withheld for taxes and other expenses such as court costs.
7 state prison systems: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, South Carolina and Texas pay nothing at all for incarcerated labor.
The average prison wage maxes out at 52 cents per hour. Prisons are paying incarcerated people less today than they were in 2001.
Whistle while you work.
Incarcerated people assigned to work for state-owned businesses earn between 33 cents and $1.41 per hour on average, roughly twice as much as people assigned to regular prison jobs.
Only about 6% of people incarcerated in state prisons earn these higher wages, however.
Typically, wages range from 14 cents to $2 an hour for prison maintenance labor, depending on the state where the inmate is incarcerated.
The national average hovers around 63 cents per hour for this type of labor.
In Arizona, professional firefighters make more than $22 per hour, while inmate firefighters are paid $1.50 per hour to fight wildfires and only 50 cents an hour for other firefighting work.
Whistle while you work.
Companies that use prison labor: Whole Foods, McDonald's, Walmart, Victoria's Secret, AT&T, Bank of America, Starbucks, Wendy's.
Over 4,100 corporations profit from mass incarceration in the United States.
In Wisconsin, for non-industry jobs, the pay was between 12 and 42 cents per hour. Incarcerated workers in New York earn a starting wage of 16 cents per hour, which can be increased to 65 cents per hour.
Prison.
If prison was the answer, we wouldn't be the most incarcerating country on the planet right now. Prison is not the answer. The answer.
Some of the 80-plus companies that use Chinese slave labor: Abercrombie & Fitch, Adidas, Alstom, Amazon, Apple, BMW, Bombardier, Porsche, Calvin Klein, Cheruti 1881, Cisco, Dell, Electrolux, Fila, Gap, General Motors, Google, H&M, Hitachi, HP, HTC, Jaguar, LL Bean, Lacoste, Land Rover, Lenovo, Mercedes-Benz, MG, Microsoft, Mitsubishi, Nike, Nintendo, Nokia, Panasonic, Ralph Lauren, Samsung, Siemens, Skechers, Sony, TDK, Tommy Hilfiger.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
social tensions.
Difficult to watch.
The horrific living conditions, difficult to watch.
Inmates fighting each other nearly to death.
Difficult to watch.
Now to a disturbing story about a woman who died behind bars. Difficult to watch.
Phoenix police officers and Maricopa jail guards used excessive force while detaining a man who may have been suffering a psychotic episode.
Difficult to watch.
An officer appeared to shoot pepper spray into her cell.
Difficult to watch.
Video showed her being punched for about a minute while she tried to protect herself.
Difficult to watch. To watch.
Dent was later diagnosed with a concussion.
Violence is no stranger to prison life. Prisoners live on top of each other 24 hours a day. The authorities accept this state of undeclared war. Some guards actively encourage it. If one inmate is attacking another, at least the guard isn't getting hurt.
You guys want to step out in this chair?
They also have time to organize and fashion the instruments of guerrilla warfare, the bomb, the knife, and the gun.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
Agila Nelson said she was sexually assaulted.
Difficult to watch.
Video appeared to capture her protesting a body search.
Yo, why is it a man ripping my clothes off? Why is it a man ripping my clothes off? Why is you grabbing my titties? Why is you grabbing my titties? Why is you grabbing my titties? Why is you grabbing my titties?
Difficult to watch.
Officer Luis Garcia punched Emily Dent about 28 times.
Difficult to watch.
Punched Emily Dent about 28 times, according to court records. The U.S. Department of Justice found evidence of rampant sexual abuse behind bars.
These grainy images from a jail surveillance camera captured one of the last days of Madeline Pitkin's life.
Suffered greatly. Suffered greatly. Nobody came to her.
Madeline was booked on a drug charge at a jail in Oregon.
Difficult to watch.
That's her, slumped down and struggling to stand as her body goes through heroin withdrawal.
Difficult to watch.
She died 3 days later after pleading for help from the jail's for-profit medical contractor, a company called Corizon.
She's seen crawling, appearing to vomit, and banging on the door. After about 4 days, she is found dead in her cell.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
Notorious Florida prison. Difficult to watch.
Inmates fighting each other nearly to death.
Difficult to watch.
I guess it's about punishment. It's not about correction. Video, you realize why there's such a high recidivism rate in this country because, you know, these inmates are sort of barely housed.
Difficult to watch. To watch. To watch. To watch.
As jails in the U.S. struggle to treat inmates with addictions or chronic medical conditions, they're increasingly turning to for-profit healthcare providers. But there's a growing number of lawsuits against the handful of companies in this business.
The idea that companies that provide bad service, that injure or kill people, will eventually lose customers and go out of business, just don't apply in the prison and jail sector. And that's because there's no consumer choice.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
2 other people have died at the jail.
You have tension, it's something you can feel. You can actually walk in here and feel it if there's tension.
We need a lot of work in mental health.
When you combine the profit motive with a captive market of unpopular people, it's a recipe for bad outcomes and often lethal outcomes.
Terrell was brought to the jail after suffering a psychotic episode at a party.
He reacted by becoming paranoid, talking about people were trying to kill him.
Kill me! Nobody's killing you, bro. I better be out of Cone County Jail.
A couple of days after she was detained at the jail, she writes, heroin withdrawal. I told medical, I really need medical care. In all caps, please help with an exclamation point. This is a 3rd or 4th call for help. I feel like I'm very close to death. Can't hear, seeing lights, hearing voices. Please help me.
I also wonder if it doesn't come from kind of a broader dehumanization of the people who were in jail and a kind of a bias to not trust or listen to them.
You're just a number. That's all you are. They don't care at all.
I also wonder if it doesn't come from kind of a broader dehumanization of the people who were in jail and a kind of a bias to not trust or listen to them.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
When he entered the jail, Louise told NAVCare staff that he took Xanax for anxiety, but NAVCare denied him the medication. Louise went into withdrawal, acting delirious and erratic. This video shows officers responding to his behavior. They pinned him to the ground until he passed out. He died 10 days later from the way the officers restrained him.
Difficult to watch.
We didn't have insurance. I had no way to bury him. And we had to get out and do car washes. We did dinner. We sold plates. We went on the corners and begged for money.
Medical outcomes is not a goal for profit healthcare. It's how do we provide the cheapest care, whatever they're not spending, they get to take home.
Just because they made the wrong decision and they go to jail don't mean you have to treat them like they're animals.
Inflame racial tensions.
The state is deliberately indifferent.
The bomb, the knife, and the gun.
A deafening silence. Breda prison is empty of inmates, like so many others in the Netherlands.
Bright colors, it's a fantastic day. It's a good day to be alive. Come to think of it, every day's a good day to be alive.
Crime is in free fall around the country. Over the last 10 years, the number of prisoners dropped 20%, forcing the closure of 27 institutions. Local authorities have come up with new ways of using the prison. Now, part of this protected national monument is home to about 90 entrepreneurs.
Really ought to enjoy what you do in life. If you do, then you'll do a good job. And if you can do things all of your life that make you happy, needless to say, you're going to be a happy person. Since I began to define cynicism as our biggest enemy, trying to make the world a better place, I've become more and more to understand that it's not the cynicism of the Republicans or of the Tea Party or the Glenn Becks and Fox News that's a problem. It's our cynicism, people who are drawn to activism. If we give in to our cynicism, then that's it. The whole shithouse is going to go up in flames.
I can still smile sometimes, but the time, when this thing is all over, I may not be a nice person. I'm gonna lay down for 2 or 3 hours and I'll sleep.
There's absolute freedom here. And I think we're all looking for freedom.
La 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 la.
Dig. SCAPE.
Radio. Peace. Radio.